As the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I believe that Dwight Howard can be just that, considering that he just came from the Golden State Warriors workout with Chris Paul and Draymond Green and left without a contract. But at the age of 37, I believe he still has some energy left in the tank and some stuff to give to a quality NBA roster, more so from a contender standpoint for somebody that might be in need. Thanks for tuning into the video. As always, it's your boy Wraith Hoops. Make sure to like the videos so that the algorithm knows to push the content out to more viewers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and join the Patreon if you're feeling up to it. The link will be in the description below. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this one. I believe that the Boston Celtics are a team that obviously needs depth, considering they just lost Robert Williams, aka Time Lord, who was beloved by many. That being said, they're finally on a timeline where they're just going to go ahead and have it all out and just go after the pieces that they really want in free agency. Considering the fact that Blake Griffin is considering not even playing this season and considering retirement at the moment before team camps even really get underway, and the fact that Time Lord was also traded away, I think that they at the very least need some sense of security. And Dwight Howard might provide just that. If I'm the Boston Celtics, I might feel comfortable if I bring in a DeMarcus Cousins or a piece similar to that. But no matter where you look on the market, even if you go for a Kelly Olynyk, you're not going to find a perfect fit for what you're trying to do or what you lost in the sense of Robert Williams. That being said, with Dwight Howard, you have somebody that doesn't have a shooting touch, probably isn't going to shoot free throws that well, but he's going to be reliable at protecting the rim for the most part in some limited minutes, and he still has athleticism left in the tank to go ahead and clean up the glass, rebound well enough, and put things back inside of 5 feet. If you're the Boston Celtics and you have Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis starting for you at the power forward and center spots, you know that you need some depth behind that because Al Horford is old and you don't really know how much time you have left with him. And then when it comes to Kristaps Porzingis, he's just a guy that has a long history of injuries, which he's a great player when he plays, but it's about him being available on the team. By adding Dwight Howard, it provides you with some much needed depth at a pretty low cost, considering the fact that he has been playing in Taiwan and just on TikTok, IG, Twitter, making a bunch of jokes about everybody that's currently in the league. That being said, it's important to note exactly what happened when he came to try out with the Warriors, and a lot of people were saying that it would have been interesting to see Chris Paul throwing lobs to him on that roster, even if they did both come off the bench. The former NBA player and current general manager of the Golden State Warriors, Mike Dunleavy Jr., had this to say in regards to Dwight Howard's workout. I'd just say in general, we bought maybe 40 to 50 guys in this summer to get a further look at, knowing agents and people around the league knowing we've got 2 roster spots open. So there is a desire to come in, meet with us, and play with our guys. And we've looked at a lot of different players. Some of them we're bringing to camp, but the player you mentioned, Howard, is just one of many we brought in and evaluated. And I think right now you'll know more about who we're inviting to camp in a couple of days. But overall, we feel good about what we've done this summer, and we'll keep our options open in terms of who we need to add. That being said, again, he is 37 years old, and having left that city without a deal, that means that the Warriors are opting to lean more so on the Kevon Looney's, the Draymond Greens, Dario Saric, Usman Garuba, who's on a 2-way contract, Tracy Jackson Davis, and Jonathan Kuminga at the very least to start the season, holding down the paint and just the front court positions, which there's nothing wrong with that. And really there isn't much to read into when it comes to what he said as far as what should be done with Dwight Howard. The simple fact of the matter is a lot of players want to play with the Golden State Warriors. They're known for being successful. They have the dynasty. Steve Kerr has made his coaching career off the backs of a system that was already in place with the greatest shooter of all time and his best running mates in Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. That being said, it just wasn't in the cards for Dwight Howard this time around, and at the age of 37, he only has a few years left where he's going to be decently serviceable enough to stay on the court with everybody. That being said, we can't just go ahead and count him out, but it is more reasonable to assume that a team like the Warriors would opt to go younger. And if you're a team like Boston, where you're in a very win now mode, you can afford to spend a little money and get a 1-year rental for Dwight Howard. And if things don't work out, you can always just let him go after this season. Or if things do seem interesting and you want to run it back, re-sign him, give him a player option, give him a team option even. At this point, I think Dwight Howard will be happy just to be on a roster, and considering that he's not, he's just enjoying and making the most of the time that he has on his hands by going all over social media. I believe in the right situation, he could be very productive for a team, and I would like that team to be the likes of Boston. I didn't think it was going to be Golden State considering how their roster is particularly constructed. I think that Boston is obviously the better fit out of the two of them, and honestly just one of the better fits across the league when it comes to pound for pound, player for player. That being said, I'm not very certain about this one actually. If he doesn't go to Boston, I wouldn't be the most surprised, but I think that they would be the team that's in most dire need of getting just big man depth, especially with Blake Griffin going ahead and letting them know that he's contemplating retirement. At this point, you're looking around and the cupboard's looking kind of bare behind your starters. So while this is a team that could go toe-to-toe with Giannis in them, you're going to need another big that can offer some sort of assistance and some sort of resistance at the rim. I think Dwight Howard, even if he does end up being more ground-bound, could at the very least be there to take some charges, take some fouls, or give some fouls to Giannis just to continue to wear him out if they end up meeting in the conference finals. With that being said, it's only a matter of time before we find out just where things are going to go with Dwight Howard, and if there is going to be another team that ends up either calling him or if his time in the league has finally come to an end. But with that being said, go ahead and like the video so that the algorithm knows to push it out to more viewers. Go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Without any further ado, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.